What if one man changed advertising forever by proving that creativity could outshine budgets? Meet William Bernbach, the visionary who revolutionized the industry. William Bernbach wasn't just an advertising legend, he was the man who made creativity king.
He is the father of modern advertising. And I think that what Bernbach represented is a kind of completely new way of talking to people, a way which kind of captured their imagination.
Known as the creative visionary, Bernbach believed that ads weren't about shouting louder than the competition. They were about connecting with people through wit, emotions, and authenticity. To give you an example, he is the genius behind the groundbreaking Think Small campaign for Volkswagen, which changed how ads are written, designed, and even thought about. His approach didn't just sell products, it made advertising itself a cultural phenomenon.
This year, just about everyone's coming out with a brand new small car. So this year, just about everyone will be telling you about this great new idea, to think small. It is a great idea. We at Volkswagen have been working on it for 21 years.
If you've ever seen an ad that made you stop and think, you can probably thank William Bernbach, the man who dared to rewrite the rules of advertising and put creativity at the center of it all.
All I want is the talent. And fortunately, being in the creative end of the business myself, I think I can spot the talent. But it's the talent that you cannot teach. I can teach advertising.
From his revolutionary campaigns to the timeless principles he pioneered, Bernbach's story is one every advertiser needs to know. Let's get started. Who was William Bernbach? William Bernbach wasn't just a creative visionary, he was an advertising rebel with a cause. Born in 1911 in the Bronx, New York, Bernbach grew up in a modest family. He studied literature at New York University, a background that gave him a deep appreciation for storytelling and the power of words. This foundation would become a cornerstone of his career. But Bernbach didn't jump straight into advertising. After graduating, he worked as ghostwriter and in mailroom jobs, slowly climbing his way into the creative industry. During World War II, he served in the army and honed his skills in communication, developing an understanding on how to convey messages with clarity and impact, a skill he would later revolutionize. In 1949, Bernbach co-founded Doyle Dane Bernbach, or DDB, in a small office in New York City. At a time when advertising was all about shouting louder and listing features, Bernbach had a radically different vision. He believed advertising should respect the audience intelligence, tap into the emotions, and above all else, be creative.
Mostly in creative people, I look for a deep insight into human nature, because I think the real basis for persuasion is to understand what motivates a man. You don't persuade people through the intellect, you do it through the passions. Now it's up to the man who's doing the persuading to tap those passions for good moral purposes.
It didn't just take long for DDB's work to stand out. Bernbach wasn't just creating art, he was breaking traditions and setting a new standard for the industry. But his genius didn't stop with bold ideas. It was his campaigns that truly changed the game.
Have you ever wondered how the man who drives a snowplow drives to the snowplow? This one drives a Volkswagen. So you can stop wondering.
With this philosophy in place, Bernbach got to work. And what followed were campaigns that not only sold products, but redefined how we think about advertising. Let us dive into his achievements and the lessons they teach us today. The creative visionary. William Bernbach wasn't interested in following the rules. He wanted to rewrite them. And as we said, his campaigns didn't just sell products, they changed perceptions, made people think and pushed the boundaries of creativity. Let's explore some of his most iconic achievements and the lesson they left behind.
Bill Bernbach actually changed the nature of advertising, changed the view. He came at it a completely different way. One of the first ads just featured a picture of the Beetle, and it says, "It's ugly, but it gets you there." Right? And that's going to arrest your attention. you're going to want to find out more about it. So using advertising technique, what he was actually delivering, but he didn't say it all in the headline, was the quality, reliability of the car.
It started with a challenge. How do you sell a tiny, quirky-looking car to an American audience that's obsessed with big, flashy vehicles? For most agencies, it would have been a dead end, but not for Bernbach and DDB. The Think Small campaign for Volkswagen wasn't just an ad, it was a revolution.
It is a great idea.
Instead of hiding the Beetle's small size, Bernbach leaned into it. The ads were simple, clean and witty, with a self-aware tone that disarmed skepticism. One headline read, "Think small," paired with a minimalistic image of the car, surrounded by plenty of white space. It didn't shout, it whispered, and people listened.
Doyle Dane Bernbach's Think Small ad said, "You buy a Volkswagen, it is a constant car, it's small, it's terrific, it works well, it's ugly in this beautiful way," and it just kind of changed the whole attitude about almost all kinds of advertising, talking about almost any kind of product. It told the truth, and it told it in a startling way, and it kind of changed in a way the way people looked at all products.
The campaign didn't just sell Beetles, it introduced a new way of thinking about advertising. It proved that honesty and creativity could outperform flashy gimmicks. The Think Small campaign became a cultural phenomenon, and the Beetle went from an oddity to a symbol of individuality and counterculture. Bernbach didn't just embrace underdogs, he turned their weaknesses into strengths.
What happened was that it launched VW into the American market. Beyond that, the VW camper van, etc., he opened the door for it.
When Avis came to DDB, they were struggling to compete with Hertz, the dominant car rental company. Instead of pretending to be number one, Bernbach crafted a campaign that celebrated being the second best, and the tagline, "We try harder."
Our campaign is not that we're number two. Our campaign is that we try harder. And we know that it's human nature to believe that if you're number two, you will try hard to get to be number one.
These ads were refreshingly honest, acknowledging that Avis had to work harder to earn its customers' trust. The campaign humanized the brand, making it relatable and authentic. And it worked. Avis went from losing money to becoming a profitable competitor in just a few years.
And we probably ran one of the great money-making campaigns. But we started this campaign, this company was $3 million in the red, and about a year later they were over $1.25 million in the black.
Bernbach taught the industry a valuable lesson there. Authenticity and humility can be as persuasive, if not more, than bravado. And Bernbach didn't just sell products, he sold experiences. As such, when Polaroid approached DDB, they wanted to emphasize the instant nature of the cameras. But instead of focusing on the technology, Bernbach's team focused on the emotional value of capturing and sharing moments.
Everybody in the family got what they wanted for Christmas. Papa got what he wanted, a Polaroid instant color picture camera, and everybody loves it. Papa's EE33 cost only $30, and it won't cost much to take Polaroid instant color pictures because they don't cost any more than pictures you wait days for. So when Papa says smile, the whole family smiles.
The See What Develop campaign showed families, friends and couples to freeze meaningful moments in time. The ads weren't just about specs, they were about memories. This campaign cemented Polaroid as more than just a gadget. It became a part of life's special occasions. Bernbach's brilliance wasn't in the ads he created, it was in the way he built his teams. He pioneered the idea of pairing copywriters with art directors, a now standard practice in the industry.
Bill Bernbach added an entire new creative force to advertising by putting the art director in the same room as the copywriter. That had never been done before.
Before this, writers and designers worked in silos, which often resulted in misaligned campaigns. Bernbach believed that by collaborating closely, these teams could create ideas that were cohesive and groundbreaking. This approach turned DDB into a creative powerhouse, by the way, where ideas weren't just sold, they were born through collaboration. The industry owes Bernbach this structural innovation, which has become a fundamental part of how advertising agencies operate. Bernbach's work wasn't just about individual campaigns, It was the spark for what became known as the creative revolution.
Is the most economical sports car you can buy. It's just not the most powerful.
In the 1960s, advertising shifted away from the formulaic alt-sell tactics of the past and embraced storytelling, wit, and emotion. Bernbach didn't just participate in this movement, he led it. His philosophy was simple but radical: respect the intelligence of the audience and use creativity to make ads that connects on a deeper level. This mindset inspired a generation of advertisers to think differently and raise the bar for what advertising could achieve.
I don't think that it would be an overstatement to say that Bill Bernbach had an effect on us that was similar to other people in his time, like Norman Mailer, Andy Warhol. Actually wrote advertising and designed advertising that spoke to you the way that you speak to yourself.
William Bernbach's campaign didn't just sell cars, cameras, or rentals. They changed how the world saw advertising. But his legacy goes beyond the arts themselves. Let's explore how Bernbach's visions continues to shape the industry today. Bernbach's legacy. William Bernbach didn't just create great ads, he reshaped the very foundation of advertising. His campaigns, his philosophy, and his approach to creativity left a mark on the industry that is still visible today.
The morgue. Our business is to sell you gasoline and oil, and we want you to be around to try them. We want you to live.
Let's break down what makes Bernbach an undeniable goat of advertising. Before Bernbach, advertising was mostly about hard-selling features and benefits, but he proved that creativity wasn't just a bonus. It was the difference maker. Bernbach believed that art should spark emotions, make people think, and connect on a personal level. This philosophy wasn't just radical, it was revolutionary. Thanks to Bernbach, the industry shifted from mechanical cookie-cutter ads to campaigns that valued wit, authenticity, and storytelling. Every ad today that feels clever, heartfelt, or bold owes a debt to the creative revolution he started. Second, Bernbach showed the world that honesty isn't a weakness, it's a strength. Campaigns like Avis We Try Harder didn't shy away from the truth, they embraced it, and audience loved it.
People talked about it a lot, they were intrigued by it. So when people started to say, hey, we saw your ad and it's terrific, everybody kind of perked up. They began to be very proud, and the whole organization changed. The cars got better care, the customers got better care, they began to get a lot more customers.
This focus on authenticity gave brands a relatable, human touch, making them stand out in a sea of corporate messaging. Even now, the most successful brands are those that follow Bernbach's playbook, speaking openly to the audience, embracing the imperfection, and using honesty as a tool to build trust. Thirdly, Bernbach understood that less is more. He didn't believe in overloading audiences with information or flashy gimmicks. Instead, he used simplicity to create clarity and focus. Campaigns like Volkswagen Think Small are a perfect example of this. Minimalistic, direct, and impossible to ignore. His approach to simplicity wasn't just about design, it was about cutting through the noise and delivering messages that truly resonate. It's a principle that remains as relevant today as it was in the 1960s. And then, one of Bernbach's greatest contributions was his belief in collaboration. By pairing copywriters with art directors, he created an agency that fostered innovation and elevated creativity to new heights. Today, this structure is the gold standard in advertising agencies worldwide. DDB, the agency co-founded, continues to thrive as one of the most respected names in the industry. Its campaigns still carry the DNA of Bernbach's vision: creative, human, and impactful. Lastly, Bernbach's influence wasn't limited to his lifetime. He lit a spark that continues to burn in every creative ad we see today. Whether it's a clever Super Bowl commercial, a touching social media campaign, or a groundbreaking brand reimagining its principles, creativity, honesty, and respect for the audience are still the bedrock of great advertising. William Bernbach wasn't just a creative visionary, he was a cultural force. He proved that ads could do more than sell products. They could inspire, connect, and change the way people think. His work didn't just raise the bar for advertising, it created the bar. And that's why William Bernbach is, without a question, one of the greatest of all time. Thanks for watching this episode of Ad Codes. If Bernbach's story inspires you, hit that like button, and maybe even subscribe to help us out. And if you're looking to sharpen your skills and create your own advertising success, please check out our programmatic advertising courses on our website, thejordan.org. They are designed to help you master the art of ads and take your career to the next level. Until next time, keep creating ads that change the game. Thanks for watching and have a good one.